Hey guys, I'm MG, and today we'll be looking at Predator, which is a 1987 American science fiction action film that was directed by John McTiernan, who directed Die Hard, and written by Jim and John Thomas. However, we're not here to name siblings. We're here to review, so why don't we stop hunting and instead review this film. This film has recently been considered as a classic action and science fiction film, and I see why. This is a good film, but that's not to say it doesn't have any flaws. I think my biggest issue with this film are the characters. I didn't hate any of them, and I thought there were a few decent ones. For instance, Blaine was kind of enjoyable, and I liked Jesse Ventura's performance. But his friendship with Mac is really shallow in this film, and he's one of the first persons to die in this film, so that's not very nice. Hawkins is more of the same. He's somewhat enjoyable, and Shane Black did a good job of his acting. But he dies first in the group, which is kind of sad, since he was one of the better written characters. And I think he wasn't given enough screen time, since there's not many character moments with him. But he was one of the better ones, and that's enough for me. Billy was honestly kind of good with his bravery and awesome stance towards a predator, with a really compelling performance from Sonny Landham. But his death scene was entirely off screen, which is very disappointing. And I wish that we actually saw him fight with a predator with his sword, but nope. Mac was my favorite character in this film. Sure, his friendship with Blaine was shallow, but I found him really interesting across the course of the movie, and Bill Dukes' performance was really excellent. As for the other characters, they don't fare as lucky. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who we have seen in True Lies, does a great job matching the film's tone. His character, Dutch, says some really cool lines like the "if it bleeds we can kill it" line, and I actually liked him for the first 10 minutes, especially when he arm wrestles Dylan. But when he goes on the mission, the character is really undercooked, and just turns out to be a really boring protagonist, but at least he didn't get a character assassination unlike someone I know, but let's move on. Anna was really bland and didn't do anything in the story, outside of getting a helicopter for Dutch, which by the way, doesn't make sense at all. And Elipdia Carrillo's performance didn't really work for me. She's not awful, but not good either. Dylan is a really one-note character who complains all the time, which isn't annoying, but not interesting either. Although Carl Weathers, who we've seen in Rocky as Apollo Creed, was very energetic in his acting. Poncho is really forgettable, and so is the performance by Richard Chaves. The pacing felt like it just stopped in some scenes, mainly when the characters were just chilling and not moving anywhere. I also find this film a bit repetitive with running away and trying to catch the predator, but I don't think it's that big of an issue. Plus, the cinematography, while it's not bad, I do wish that it had some more diverse shots and camera angles. In general, almost everything in this film isn't quite good enough to be great, but it has its positives. The action scenes were really investing, and it had some tension, which makes those scenes one of the best moments at the entire film, thanks to its interest whether Dutch's team will make it out alive of the forest or not. The visual effects have honestly aged really well and still look really great to this day, outside of a couple dated ones, like the Predator explosion. The Predator himself was honestly a really worthwhile foe to the characters, with an interesting personality and number of different weapons it has, which makes it a really good antagonist, with good physical work from Kevin Peter Hall and good voice work from Peter Cullen. The music by Alan Silvestri was probably the best aspect of this entire film, because it matches the tone perfectly, and it just sounds really great to hear. Overall, this is a pretty simple movie with nothing much to talk about in terms of reviewing it, but whatever, it wasn't bad. 7.3 out of 10. Goodbye everyone, and thank you for watching. Bye.